another hadith as reported by Ka'b ibn Malik. Ka'b ibn Malik, he said at the end of Uhud, we're not talking about the beginning, at the end, I looked up and I saw a mushrik. And this mushrik was totally covered in armor. Had a helmet, had armor. And he was heading towards the Muslimin. And he was calling the other mushrikeen to come with him. Like he was encouraging the Quraysh to attack the Muslims. Ka'b ibn Malik said, I saw him from afar. And I saw him gathering people. And then I saw a Muslim. I saw a Muslim. And he had amama. And this is something important. That the dress of the Muslim was not exactly like the dress of the kuffar. Like some people today, they think that the way the Quraysh dressed or the mushrikeen dressed is exactly how Rasulullah ﷺ dressed. Of course, there are certain things that were the libas of the time. But the way of dressing of the Muslims was unique. And this hadith is one of the dalail for it. Why? Because Ka'b ibn Malik said, I saw him from afar, I didn't know who he was. And his amama, it covered his face. He had covered his face with it. But from looking at his dress, I could tell he was a Muslim. Now if the Muslims and the mushrikeen had no difference, how could he tell? There are many other dalail we could present. Like when Uthman radiallahu anhu goes in Hudaybiyah and his izar is up and the Quraysh make fun of him and their izar are hanging. But there are differences. So here, Ka'b ibn Malik radiallahu anhu says, I saw a Muslim heading close to him. And he was alone when this mushrik had more people behind him. And he was not fully armored when this mushrik was fully armored. And then I saw them duel, them battle. And I saw that the Muslim, he attacked the mushrik and cut him in half from head to his buttocks. The Muslim, he attacked him and cut him in half from his head all the way down to his end. And Ka'b ibn Malik says that this cannot be because the armor is very strong except by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yani one thing is, if you've ever wielded a sword, it's heavy and it's not easy to wield. Second thing, if you are able to attack a person who's not even wearing armor, to cut just his head is a big feat. But to cut somebody who's armored with iron from head all the way down to his bottom, this is a miracle from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Ka'b ibn Malik says that I saw this person and I wondered who could this be. So I came close to him. And when I came close and he saw me, he uncovered his face. Who was it? Abu Dujana radiallahu anhu. Abu Dujana radiallahu anhu. And at this time, he looks at Ka'b ibn Malik and he says, how do you see me? SubhanAllah, he's bragging. Now, we would think it's haram to brag. But there are times where you should brag. There are times where you do it not to show off, but to encourage the Muslim Ummah. To make everybody strong, because we're looking at a battle that is a very critical time when Muslims are having a lot of shuhada. So at this time, Abu Dujana, he's showing him why? To encourage Ka'b ibn Malik, that don't be afraid, look at us. Allah is with us. And Ka'b ibn Malik, like we mentioned earlier about Zubair ibn Awam and others, and Talha, that they saw Abu Dujana that day and realized why he was given the sword by Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He cut that mushrik in half and he continued. And now Ka'b ibn Malik says when he did this, the group of mushrikeen, they ran. Now this is the end of Uhud and the mushrikeen are still running. They ran because they saw how Abu Dujana radiallahu anhu, al-Ansari, he cut the man in half. And he saw this is impossible, he's wearing armor. And they knew they didn't want to go up against him. They started to run away from him. And Abu Dujana, he's running around Uhud, chasing the mushrikeen. Alone. These are men. These are rijal. These aren't made up stories in Hollywood. These are true facts in history. We check the asanid, we check more than any history book that you read.